Episode 2 of our 3-part CJ McCollum series will feature his live ball move, starting with flipping his hips. So flipping his hips is when you're playing in a sprinter stance right here. So you can see his right foot is forward, his left foot is back. So now he has the ability to explode off his back foot, or he can flip his hips because Paul Millsap's stance right here is splitting his feet, so he can flip his hips and then attack this top foot right there. So you can see he flips his hips to that sprinter stance. So left foot is now forward, and he can explode off his back foot, his right foot, to play in a straight line drive. He is really good at consistently being in a sprinter stance with the ball protected and then flipping his hips when he sees an angle and can attack off his back foot. So you can see his back foot right here is going to explode to cross step. Now he plays in a straight line drive through the elbow. This is another great example. Watch how many times in this example his hips flip to a different sprinter stance with either his left foot forward or his right foot forward. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right into a crossover right at the nail. So you can see his ability to flip his hips is so important to change the angle on your primary defender. Next, we have his killer crossover, or his Iverson crossover. So watch how right here he's going to stunt or slight jab with this foot right there, and then his right foot's going to lunge with a right to left crossover, and he's going to beat his primary defender with a nice bump finish. Right here, he's going to stunt. Watch his right foot right there is going to stunt. Now his left foot is going to lunge, and then he goes left to right crossover. He gets the ball right below his primary defender's hands, so now he can get downhill for a same foot, same hand runner. He's very shifty with his feet, so he gets going one way with a quick little jab and then a lunge, and then he can cross right over and get either to a finishing move or a pull-up. Next, we have his between the legs float into a crossover. So he's going to float and load off this foot. He's going to start his float, but before he completes a full 100% float to get outside the hips of Paul George, he sees his top foot is splitting. So he's going to attack that top foot with a left to right crossover and gets right to a spot above the nail for a pull-up. Float, sees he can cross over right here, right to a spot. He's so good at floating one direction, reading the feet of his primary defender, and then crossing over. He can do it left to right or right to left. This is another great example. He starts to float outside the hips, sees he can attack that top foot right here of his defender, and can cross over right to a pull-up. Great move into a pull-up 3. Float, he can see he now has his defender's foot right here. He can attack with a crossover, and he does such a good job of his dribble pickup into his pull-up. Watch his dribble pickup right here. So he's going to float dribble outside his hips, crossover, attack that top foot. Quick pickup right here. You can see he really is dipping his shoulder low with bringing his hands together into his shooting pocket right to a pull-up. So that is episode 2 covering CJ McCollum's live ball moves.